All right. So I'm here again. Thank you guys so much for coming back. As I said in the last video, this one will basically be focusing mainly on the visa application process. Now, I remember I'm giving you timestamps so that you can understand what my journey looked like. And so in the last video, I did mention that for me, my application process with the school was basically from February of 2016 to June. So like all the paperwork I needed to submit and all the different things that the school wanted me to do. It took me a while just based on my choice. It wasn't any other factor there. So sometimes some schools, because they do respond to you very quickly. It's one of the things that I also must commend Canada for. They are very quick on responding to queries of students and letting you know what you need to do and all that stuff. So you don't have to worry about them taking long. They weren't the ones who took long. I I took long to do stuff, but it still worked out in the end. So I ended up now applying for my visa in July of 2016. Now, I'm only providing you with timestamps because I'm showing you that for me, the entire process of student to permanent resident was 2 years. I'm saying to you where the first part of the student process is involved, it doesn't have to take as long as it did for me. Having started my research the previous year in November of 2015, I could have gotten um, my visa, or I could have applied for my visa way earlier because I was already, sure of what I wanted to do. But yeah, that was just me. So I started my visa application process now in July 2016, and as I had said before, it was through the help of a immigration consultancy agency, or whatever. I just love to say immigration agency because all those other words are just too much to say, if you can understand. So you, for anybody who is applying to go to another country, when you're applying for a visa, you have a standard application form that you must fill out. For the student visa, though, with Canada, there's actually a student visa form, and a standard, a specific form for the student visa that you have to fill out, and also what is known as a family information form. Now I want to pause on that one because I think it asks about your immediate family in Jamaica. I don't remember if it asks about your family in Canada. I don't remember. I'd have to probably go look back at what that form is. But for you, you want to make sure that whatever information that you are asked on those forms, that you fill them out as correctly as possible, because once you begin that application process, a number is assigned to you that travels with you, I think, for about 10 years. So once your information is not changing within that 10 years, you want to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. So you have an application form that you have to fill out and submit. You have to fill out your family information form. Now, along with that, Canadian immigration wants to know, even though you're a student and you're basically starting from scratch or whatever, you are moving to a new country and they want to know that you have the money to make that move, that your money is where your mouth is. Or you want to move to a new country? Do you have the money? So you want to provide what is called proof of funds. And proof of funds can be based on financial statements from any financial institutions that you are a member of. So a bank statement is fine. We don't do credit reports in like Jamaica or stuff or so. So yeah. Um I think that's basically it, like a bank statement. And they want that information to be as current as possible, but also it must make sense. It must show that the money was there based on the time that you opened the account and the time that you're producing the statement, it must show enough, and that they ask for a certain amount. I don't remember the exact figure, but what that money must involve is your ability to pay your tuition for at least the first year, your ability to cover your living expenses. So whether it's accommodation with the school, or if you're living somewhere else, you're going to have to travel, right? So you want to be able to show that you are able to provide for yourself during that time, at least for a year. And also that you're able to fund your flight, your return flight. So you're traveling to Canada and you're returning home to your home country. And I'll talk more about that. They need that proof of funds. The money must be able to cover that for at least that first year. So if you're doing 1 year of study, then fine, bam, good. If you're doing more than a year of study, at least for the first year. Because what they don't want is for you to have to rely on employment in Canada. You're a student. They don't want you to have to rely on employment to be able to live. I mean, we know that's a hard bargain that they're asking for, but you can see where it does make sense. So you want to ensure that your bank statement um matches that. So proof of funds, as well as I said before, so where you live is important. So they want to know where you're going to stay. So if you're staying with family or relatives or friends, they need to provide documentation that they live here and they're going to allow you to stay there for the duration of your studies. They have to send you that information. And I'll tell you more about my story as it relates to that and what I provided. So you want that. If the school is going to provide accommodation, you need a letter as well to say that the school is providing you accommodation. And that letter will be based on the fact that you have paid money. So, accommodation is a separate cost from your tuition. So you want to show that you have at least paid for, if there's a yearly plan. Let's say you're studying for more than a year and it's a yearly plan, then you pay for at least your first year of accommodation or whatever other installments that the school allows. You want to show proof of that as well. Now, another thing that is important, but you don't necessarily hear a lot of people talking about it, or I don't think it's on the website itself, but it's what is called a letter of intent or a purpose statement. And basically what this is the letter that you use to sell yourself to Canadian immigration that you are an ideal candidate for a student visa, that you should be given a visa to come to their country. So in that letter of intent, you want to state the course that you are studying, why you're studying that course, how is it going to benefit your home country, and you want to let them know that you have reasons for returning to your home country. Now, I know that may not be your focus, that you don't necessarily plan on returning, but you need to put it in the letter. You need to let them know that based on what you're studying, it will contribute to the development of your country, and that you also have reasons, so like family ties or other possessions, for those who might have assets in terms of real estate or business or anything else. You want to provide reasons for return, even though you might decide that you want to stay after you're done studying. So that's basically a list of must-haves when you are going to submit your visa application, alongside like photographs and your passports, and anything else. So there's a specific list that is on the Canadian immigration website that tells you all the documents that they will require for your student visa. Now, as I said, the processes have changed from when I did it. So you want to check that whatever you are submitting is what they require. And even if it's not on the site, make sure you have a good letter of intent. I'll talk more about that next week because I have a story to tell you. Stay tuned and thank you